not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable copy products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the Tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GEAR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
I'm Ed Hall, author of The Kindness Revolution. I just spoke to an employee of a company that I do business with. During the conversation, the employee made it clear that they didn't like their company or their boss. They also made it clear that they didn't give their best efforts because of their displeasure, and they were saving their best for their ideal job. Well, I've got a tip for them. If you want the ideal job, the best way to get it is to do your best on your current job. You're going to get discovered. I can't tell you how many employees I've hired or recommended over the years as a result of observing them at their current position. Employers are always, or should be, watching competitors or other companies for their next hire. Or possibly someone in your current organization will see your efforts and want you for their team. In this regard, we're like actors or athletes. To get discovered, we need to be doing the best we can right now. To learn more, check us out at thekindnessrevolution.net.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you gotta bet. The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Wednesday. And you're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. And if you're out there today, it's a little warm, but it is beautiful.
It is.
Nonetheless, we're going to dip down a little bit. I talked to Joanna this morning. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
She said there might be a chance of rain Thursday night into Friday, but the temperatures are going to go down a little bit, but it'll be short-lived, and then they'll go back up.
Okay.
So she wanted everybody to be, it's okay. You know, it's hot and humid. The humidity is going to go down after that rain goes through.
Right.
She said something about a high-pressure system, cold front, the back end of the cold front, although a cold front doesn't necessarily always mean it gets cold.
Right.
It just means that humidity, and usually the winds get up and that kind of stuff.
We need some moisture, man.
We do.
It's brown out there.
It is.
Yeah.
And what do you do when it's brown?
You lay down.
That's absolutely right. You need to lay down some water on that brown grass.
That's
I'm sure a lot of people went from, having their grass coming out of dormancy or whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden it got so hot hot, if you're not watering it all the time, you're going to have some hot spots and some burnouts. But that's one of the tough things people don't realize about a golf course is the weather fluctuates so quickly. Imagine that affects your yard. Imagine how that affects a golf course.
Has it been 2 years since we've had all those fires up on the north end of the county?
It might have been longer.
Has it been longer than that?
I don't know. Time's fine.
Yeah.
It's like May 8th or something like that.
Right, yeah.
You know what it's been?
What?
It's been a week since our 1 year anniversary. So we only got 51 weeks to go until your anniversary number 2.
Yes, sir.
But you know what also we're going to do here in this first segment?
I think you're going to play Santa Claus today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you believe in Santa Claus.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to give away some prizes. Mm-hmm. And we are very, very excited about that. As I mentioned, you're listening on the radio or you're watching on Facebook, X, or YouTube, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. You can always go back and watch shows as well. You can download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is what you got to search. You can also follow our TikTok page, inside.drive. And if you just want to be old school and go to your internet browser, you can go to espnpc.com because you got to have a website, too.
Yeah, you do.
And I know one of the best websites out there. What's that one?
Yeah, let me think about it. Golfwithj.com.
Golfwithj.com. You can go there for all your lesson needs. And if we're gonna announce the winner here shortly. You've got your random number generator set up on your computer.
I do.
First time you've ever done that?
Didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, see? We've already got you going on the show this morning.
I would use this for the lottery is what I would do.
Yeah.
But anyways.
There you go. It's pretty much the same thing, supposedly. It's weird how those big jackpots, though, there's not like a winner like 4 or 5, 6, 7 times, and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
you know, I don't trust anything anymore.
I don't either.
But I do trust your random number generator. I've got all the people who have followed the rules for our contest. They shared the post. They like our Facebook page, like our Instagram page. There it is, right there. The random. You didn't even leave Google. That's even more
I know
impressive.
it's in the search.
That is more impressive. He's got it up and running. We've got all the prizes here. Again, I want to give a shout out to all the sponsors and local businesses that dove in for this one. We appreciate it very much. It's been a fun year, and we're looking forward to an even better second year here on the Inside Drive. But we'll start. We got an Inside Drive t-shirt and hat there. We've got a Bay Point round of golf for 2 players. We got a Christos $75 gift card. We got a Golf Plus gift pack, which includes a Logo Vibe insulated cup with speaker, a towel, a sleeve of Pro V1s. I mean, those might be worth $200 nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
A double brush, a tea pack, a $10 coupon, and some other cool stuff in that bag. We've got an American Charlie $100 gift card. You can find American Charlie's right there in the Edgewater Shopping Center, right kind of on the far, I would say that would be northwest end. Great food, American Patriot place, just awesome place. If you haven't been there, I encourage you to check it out. That fried chicken plate is, or the whole fried chicken plate is absolutely spectacular. And also we got a full detail from Bill Kramer GM. I swung by there yesterday. I didn't swing by. I was in the car. Well, Beth swung by, and they've got some beautiful Corvettes out there. I don't know what they're called or what they are, some Z fancy thing, but they are. We picked up the kids from school and we were driving home. They're like, "What are you doing?" I was, "I'm about to grab my new Corvette." I think Ryan slightly believed me for a second.
Right.
Liam's like, "You're an idiot." But they are there's like 6 or 7 of them out there. They are absolutely spectacular. I mean, they look like, the Corvette has come such a long way. I mean, it looks like a Lambo, really, at this point. So, but go check out Bill Kramer GM right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. And then we also got a $150 dinner for 2 gift card at Firefly. If you know everybody knows Firefly. Yeah. Dave Trepanier does a wonderful job. The restaurant's won so many awards, one of the top in the country. Fantastic food, fantastic drinks. Sushi is unbelievable. $150 gift card there. And I saved the best for last, Jay. A 1-hour lesson with Jay Henley. Doesn't have to be a lesson. No. Well, it can be a lesson. Doesn't have to be in golf.
Yeah.
It just says a 1-hour lesson.
Absolutely. You can tailor it to whatever.
If you weren't teaching golf, what would you teach?
Oh, boy.
I know. That's a tough one.
Are you serious? You're going to put me on that spot?
I mean, there's got to be one other thing you could say.
Something to do with rhythm and balance, I'm sure.
I'd like to be on the flight line over at Tyndall, teaching flight.
I didn't ask what you wanted to teach. I asked you what you could teach. And let's not. I don't want to get you up in any air traffic control towers.
That's right. Oh man, I don't know, Ryan.
You've got nothing else that you could teach in life besides golf.
How about life?
That you are teaching.
Yeah,
right
there
now.
you go. There you go.
Life.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Basketball.
See?
That's a coach thing, though.
That's still teaching.
Yeah,
coaching is teaching.
Yeah.
It's like a synonymous thing there.
Right.
I think you'd be a good life coach, though, in all reality.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I know so.
Yeah.
We've had conversations.
One thing you could teach is how to wear the color baby blue appropriately.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's kind of your jam. I go back and look on all of our live shows trying to find clips. I'm like, blue. Is this? No, it's a different day. Okay, good.
I need to search kind of what Travis did with red to see what baby blue, and I may kind of find a little bit more out about myself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There you go. What does the color baby blue mean? I see David's fingers going fast back there. I think we're about to find out.
But it's like I go shopping for shirts, and all of a sudden it's like I walk out and I have a baby blue shirt, and I don't even know I have it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
We know. It's a great color. I mean, it's a very peaceful, calming color. Like, I'm never going to be like, I'm never going to be like, oh, baby blue is terrible. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Tar Heel fan.
Light blue is associated with health, healing, tranquility, understanding, and softness.
See,
well,
I knew you were soft, but all those other things, that's teachability right there.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic stuff.
Help, healing, all that, man.
See? Hey, I could get real deep here, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Because the health and the healing and all that. You're sitting across from me. Some things have transpired this year. So, let alone you're wearing baby blue for that reason. Who knows? The big man upstairs is making stuff happen. That is for sure. So I'm never ever criticize you for wearing baby blue.
All right.
I'm wearing Florida State today.
Yep.
I'm pulling for this golf team. Lottie Wilk, we'll talk about it. Lottie Wilk's currently in first. They're right on there. It's going to be they need to play really, really good. They had a tough day yesterday where a lot of other teams had good days, and today's going to be a huge day for them. But $935 in value this giveaway is. Ooh. Again, we appreciate all of the businesses that got involved. We appreciate everybody who entered the contest. Of course, follow the Inside Drive on all of our platforms, ESPN Northwest Florida on all of our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, our mobile app. Everywhere we're out there, ESPNPC.com. You ready to do this thing, Jay?
I am.
I got the spreadsheet. I've got all the names with numbers next to them that have followed the rules and done what they needed to do, and you're going to randomly generate a number for us here. Should we get some kind of like sound effect?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll hit him with the Jay Henley Tip of the Week sound effect. How about that?
It's Jay's
giveaway of the week. All right, here it is. The time. And if you're listening and you win, give us a call.
Yeah.
50215-6290. There we go.
And what is this for right here?
We just said it. You want me to say it again?
Yeah, say it again.
All right. You're really putting the pressure on everybody.
Yeah.
American Charlie, $100 gift card. Bill Kramer, GM, full car detail. Firefly, $150 gift card. Golf Plus package worth $100, including a Logo Vibe insulated cup with speaker. Round of 2 at Bay Point Golf Club. Christo's $75 gift card. Inside Drive T-shirt and hat. And what else, Jay?
And a 1-hour golf lesson with Jay.
A 1-hour lesson.
Lesson.
With golfwithjay.com.
All right, and what's this number for? Is this for okay, all right.
This is for the giveaway.
Okay.
I mean, we've been doing this thing for a week.
All right.
I don't know where you're at.
You want me to generate it?
Just generate the damn number.
All right, hold on. Uh-oh. I'll right-click instead of left.
Oh, no, the pressure. Ask you to do one thing with your computer in 1 year. Number 5, Jay Germano. Jay Germano, you are the winner of the 1-year anniversary giveaway. Congratulations, Jay. I know you're an active listener. And if you're listening right now, give us a call, 850-215-6290. Jay Germano.
Yes,
or Mono. I don't know. Mano, whatever it is.
I know that name.
Congratulations. I know that name, too.
Yeah. I do.
Maybe because I've been looking at it with the shares and put it in this spreadsheet, but
yeah,
is he somebody you teach?
A year or so ago.
Okay,
but I haven't seen him in quite some time.
So he's probably going to use the 1-hour lesson as a golf lesson.
Okay, yeah, very cool. So okay, all right. I didn't know the rules, so I'm sorry. I didn't know if we were going to do like individually. Okay, so he's the winner of it all.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
It's a prize package.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's a prize package.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm glad after a week of this, you're now understanding what's going on.
You know, I'm slow, but I'm worth the wait.
Hour and a half for
60 minutes.
I feel like it's getting closer to an hour and 45 now to watch 60. You're almost double for the time there. Yeah. That's for sure. But yeah, congratulations to Jay.
Come on, Jay, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're going to do with all this stuff. You're going to have a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
And I have a T-shirt here. If it's not the right size, I've got plenty. So just let me know. We can swap that bad boy out. But yes, congratulations to Jay. That's good stuff.
That's great,
good stuff.
man.
We got some other cool stuff coming up next month as well, as the 7-year anniversary of ESPN Northwest Florida is right around the corner on June 26th. We'll be announcing this contest starting in early June, but because of our listeners, we are here where we are today. We've been covering the Atlanta Braves for 7 years during our existence, and for all of our loyal Braves fans making this possible, we're going to do a really cool Atlanta Braves giveaway starting in June. So stay tuned for more information on that, but that will be coming up here very, very soon.
Nice.
Did you have some lessons this morning, Jay?
I did, yeah. And I got a few this afternoon, and man, I tell you what, it's warm. It is warm.
Yeah, but
no doubt.
I talked to Joanna this morning. Hope that's okay. She said it's going to cool down towards the end of the week.
I'm ready for it.
There you go. And then it'll get back warm, and then it'll be hot all the way until probably October.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'd rather be hot than cold.
I would too.
No doubt about that.
Yep.
It's nice. It's light till like 7:45 now.
Yeah.
You know, it's nicer, and when the breeze is up, the bugs don't get up as much. So,
right.
But it's fun. I got a poll question for today.
But when it's hot, the bugs are out.
Oh, man. Well, it hasn't rained in a while, too. So, we haven't had the emergence of the, what kind?
Cicadas?
Skeeters.
Skeeters. We talked about cicadas for a minute.
We've talked about, those no-see-ums. Do the no-see-ums actually bite?
I mean, according to the welts on my body, sometimes I would say they do.
They bite back too. I'm just, they land on me, but they don't seem to ever bite me.
You're not sweet enough.
That's true. Yeah. I'm very salty, and I do love salt.
I do too.
I love salt more than I love sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you love baby blue.
But I like peanut. I like salt and sweet, like M&Ms and popcorn. M&Ms and popcorn.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've ever had that combination before, but I would.
Did you know they made like
good.
Oreo popcorn and all those crazy kind of popcorns?
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like you didn't know that.
No. There's different kind. I mean, caramel.
No, I'm talking about like.
Jay's like, there's a big old tub and it's got a divider.
Yeah, it goes into 3 sections.
It's got cheese and regular.
I think. What was your favorite out of that one, or did you mix?
I mixed them up.
Yeah.
I'm that way with like anything. Thanksgiving food, of course. Like just put it all on the plate. I'm taking a bite of everything all at the same time.
Yeah. Now, I do remember that popcorn. It seemed like, what did it come with a tub?
Yeah,
like
it was in one of those tin containers. It was always around Christmas time.
What were the graphics on it? Was it like a circus?
It's whatever you wanted to have on. There was lots of different types of graphics. It'd be Christmas decorations. It would be winter scenes. It would be. I've seen the one with the carousel, but a Christmas themed carousel.
I gotcha. Yeah,
but yeah,
those are good memories.
The cheese one was always the one that was the last one.
Yep.
For me, anyway.
The last one to eat? Like, were you saving the best for last?
No, it was the one that was kind of left over, so to speak.
Man, I think that was my favorite one.
I
would go cheese, caramel, regular.
Dang, I'm the polar opposite.
Now, Ryan, to me, seems like the guy that would, when you have mashed potatoes, green beans, and like two sides, you go one at a time.
Absolutely.
So you eat all your coleslaw, then you eat all your beans.
He said best for last. I always eat the thing that I'm looking forward to the most last. So if I got like a plate, we got steak, mashed potatoes, and asparagus, I'm going to probably go asparagus, mashed potatoes, steak.
Save the best for last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but Bess, like you guys, she just all at once, stabbing different things, all going down the hatch. I'm like, you guys, do your thing.
Get a couple of green beans on there, dip it in the taters, then finish it off with a steak, all in one bite. There you go. Yeah. And I try to eat what I know is going to be like, well, if I get a combination at a burger place or whatever, I'm going to eat the fries first completely.
Really?
Totally agree.
Because the fries are terrible once they get cold, but I can eat a burger cold.
Absolutely.
I could eat that or, get it out.
I couldn't agree with you more.
6 p.m. comes around. It ain't been refrigerated. I don't care. Makes my immune system stronger. We're good to go.
That's it. You got to have a little bad in there to make yourself stronger.
Yeah, you do.
This is random. Do you remember, you probably don't, but when I was in college, that Sonic had a 5 for $5 after 5 on Tuesdays. You get 5 cheeseburgers for $5 after 5 o'clock.
Ooh.
How many could you do? And it's the regular, single patty cheeseburger.
Single patty.
Ooh. I mean, I would probably get 5 in one sitting.
The reason why I thought of this is because you talked about the burger sitting and being cold. I'm like, I did that with the Sonic burger.
Yeah. I bet they were small, though.
No, they were their single patty Sonic cheeseburger. It was a better time back then.
Yeah.
5 for $5 after 5.
I can imagine if they brought that back. You think you could eat all 5?
I could.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I could not. I don't think I could.
I probably could, but how would I feel afterwards? Not so
Bloated.
good. Yes, bloated. The next day would be rough. all those things.
It's all in moderation. I mean, you see me. I'll go to a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, it is moderation, but you just said you're going to eat 5 in one sitting.
Yeah, but that night I wouldn't eat, and then the next morning I'd eat some fruit, and then
it's like the opposite of moderation.
I would eat salmon for lunch the next day.
Oh, and specifically salmon?
Yeah.
You know,
so then
very
it's all
native
evened
to the
out.
Gulf.
Yeah.
Salmon. Really?
Yeah.
It's very good for you, but, it's not anywhere near here.
Well, I love salmon.
I'm proud of you for saying it correctly, too.
Salmon?
You just seem like the type of person that would say salmon.
Salmon.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. So my poll question actually had nothing to do with any of this. It was going to be, we've got 3 great local shows here. We got the Coach James Hale Show, the Inside Drive, and the Afternoon Underdogs. I was not going to ask about us, but what's your favorite non-local show here on ESPN Northwest Florida? I'm just curious because I'm going to say it's the Dan Patrick Show. I love Dan Patrick. I love the Danettes. They kind of, I feel like they have great, he's been in sports forever, so he knows everybody. They got great guests, but they also have that kind of entertainment side of things where they're goofing off and saying silly things. And I love that. That keeps me more engaged. Right. That's why I like kind of what we do as well, because we can sit here and talk about sports for 2 hours, but I'd rather,
Yeah.
And I know that's why you do what you do too.
Right.
You just be you and it works perfectly.
Yes.
So David's going to put all the shows that we have on there. I know we got Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Paul Feinbaum. I forget who was in the morning before the Coach James Hale Show. I should know that, but I do apologize. So that's going to be our poll question here today.
Who's the most sports driven of those non-local shows that don't have a little bit of that non-sports talk?
I would say the Herd. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And Paul Feinbaum, he's kind of got his niche where he lives on callers. But he does some great interviews as well, and he's very well connected in the SEC world. But his show is more built off of callers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, who would you say?
I'm with you on that. I think Dan Patrick, I always, kind of listen to him on the way in, and there's always something that is non-sports related that kind of gets, Yeah, and honestly, I don't listen to any of the other guys.
Yeah. Well, you're teaching golf.
Yeah.
You don't even listen to the Inside Drive half the time.
That's right.
So we're good.
I'm part of the show.
And you're part of the show. There you go. Never change, Jay. Never change our show.
So we only have room for 4 options over here. I've got Dan Patrick Show, Feinbaum, Colin Cowherd. I can either go with Canty. I think that's who's on in the morning. Or we can go with Greeny. But Greeny only gets...
I would do the morning guy.
All right.
Yeah, because Greeny's only, an hour in between Cowherd and you guys?
Yeah, 3 to 4, yeah.
And half the time Greeny's doing something else anyway, so...
Actually, he's been on a lot more, at least from what I've been noticing.
Gotcha.
But normally from that 3 to 4, I don't even got it up in here. I'm just looking at the levels, make sure we're good. Outside of that,
and you're getting
because I end up getting distracted.
Yep, absolutely.
Squirrel.
Jay, do you ever get distracted?
No. I'm focused.
No, absolutely. You stay focused constantly.
Focused.
But congratulations to Jay Germano. You have won the 1-year anniversary contest here for the Inside Drive. Again, thank you to all the awesome local businesses and sponsors that kicked in there. You didn't have to do that, and we very, very much appreciate that. Jay, our first segment is over. When we get back, I'm going to let you choose what we dive into because there's some fun stuff we can talk about today. Of course, we've got Keith Fleming coming up at the top of the hour as the Wells Fargo Championship. I think it's the last time Wells Fargo's is sponsoring, and we'll have him all the DFS action. We're going to talk a little NBA as well with him as well. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball!
Tonight, the Braves are back in town for a short 2-game set as they take on the Boston Red Sox live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, some sun and a high of 82 with a moderate breeze out of the south at 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 77. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy and a high around 83. For Friday, some clouds and possible thunderstorms and a high of 79. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
It's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves improved to 12-4 at home as they take Game 1 from the Red Sox on Tuesday night. I'm Kevin McAlpin. Your Braves Radio Network morning updates coming up next.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets.
Tuesday night in front of 38,000 at Truist Park, the Braves doubled up the Red Sox by a final score of 4-2. The Atlanta offense got on the board in the bottom of the third on a 2-run homer from Jarred Kelenic. His first of the season traveled 368 feet into the chop house in right. For Kelenic, it snapped a string of 232 consecutive ABs without a long ball dating back to the end of last year. Red Sox would tie it with 2 in the top of the 6th on a bases-loaded walk to Reese McGuire and an RBI single from Sedan Rafaela. But then in the bottom of the 8th, the Braves got an RBI single from Marcell Ozuna to put him in front, and they took the lead and added on with an RBI groundout from Orlando Arcia. Braves will now look for a 2-game sweep over the Red Sox coming up later on tonight as Chris Sale takes on his former team. All the action can be heard right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network at 7:20 Eastern. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and this has been your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions. Your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, this was our original, the Let's Go clean version. Had a little bit of the Crazy Train action in it as well. So that's what brought us in to begin with.
I love that song.
It's a good one. There's a lot of good ones. That is for sure. Got to work on our football playlist as the flag football season is coming up here soon.
What if we came up with 4 songs that you guys would love to be your opening song and pulled it out?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
I like that a lot.
There you go. Let the listeners be a part of picking the theme song.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Your homework tonight. You got an F on your homework over the weekend because it was incomplete. 0 out of 4. I can't remember what I asked you to do anyway, so maybe you got 100.
What if school was like that? The teacher's like, I forgot about what the homework was, so whatever. Everyone gets an A+.
Hey, there may be some places that is the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you come up with...
These kids don't have homework no more, Ryan, so I'm not participating in it.
Interesting. According to the help I give, they have homework.
Oh, okay. I guess my kids are lying to me then.
Hey, maybe.
Valedictorian lying? Come on.
Nah. That's coming up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, next Thursday. Yeah. And
you're going to get her on the show?
Well, she says she's been practicing her speech. I've seen the speech. She sent it over to me. I love it. I think it's going to be a good speech. She says she's practicing every night, and we're anticipating maybe 200 people there.
Yeah,
probably.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll see. I've been trying to get her on here.
Did you critique the speech and give it any grammatical corrections?
I did not.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. I did not.
No, but
what you got all these commas in here for?
Yeah, well, commas. I never used a comma in my life.
No, we don't.
It's unnecessary, right? Same with periods.
Right.
Just one big run-on sentence. But
I wish they'd do my bank numbers like that. No periods.
No periods. No comma, or lots of commas, no periods. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Talk without touching my lips together. Like, hey, how you doing?
Is that how you do ventriloquism?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. I could see you being a ventriloquist. But you'd have some really cool puppet with some crazy thing.
You'd make a puppet to be like Joanna.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Describe Joanna for us.
Well,
I've only talked to her. I've never met her in person.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
she sounds beautiful.
She's beautiful. Brown hair, brown eyes.
Very, very dominant genes apparently that run in the Joanna family.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah,
very smart. Not a lot of book smarts, but she has, just robot smarts. But yeah, she's 130 pounds, 125.
125.
Yeah, about 5'9". She's a tall. She's
tall and skinny, like a beanpole.
She's like a beanpole.
5'9", $125.
Daggum 2x4.
Yep.
She better be careful during the weather when she's out there live reporting. She'll get blown away.
That's right. But yeah, I miss her. Gosh, I miss her. Man.
Well, the good thing is when you tune into...
And you talked to her.
I did this morning. I needed to know about the weather this week. I felt bad. I felt like I was overstepping my bounds with you. But we have that kind of relationship.
Yeah, you're good.
I can talk to your ex-girlfriends.
Absolutely.
No big deal. I'm just trying to find out the weather.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. That's all. All right. We want to talk maybe a few things about sports today?
Yeah.
All right.
I get an option on what we're... going to talk about?
You were going to, but first I'm going to dive into this, and then you can give me the option. I want to talk about this is the final day of the NCAA Women's Regionals. There are 6 regional sites going on right now. We'll start with the Las Vegas Regional. That's at Spanish Trail Country Club, and the being out there in the, I guess that would be, is that Pacific time or Mountain time in Vegas? Mountain time?
I thought it was Pacific. Yeah, I think it's Pacific.
Okay, we'll
Las
go with
Vegas.
that. Memphis was the capital of Tennessee, so.
Oh, I already had it up. Las Vegas time zone is Pacific time zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not one of those that fluctuates throughout the year?
Almost all of Nevada is Pacific.
Nevada.
There are a few places that are Mountain time, but it's closer to Idaho or Utah.
So all of Nevada is Pacific time?
Besides those border counties of Idaho and Utah.
Oh, so there's a sliver of...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Kinda
guys...
like Florida, right? We
just
Central Eastern.
Just
That's
cut
it,
off the panhandle. The pot just fell. It's now just a bowl.
Why is it called a panhandle?
Because it looks like a panhandle.
But Texas panhandle doesn't look like a panhandle. Yeah.
I mean, I could kind of see it looking like a panhandle too.
Right.
It's just a different shape.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they call panhandlers because they're holding out a pan.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's my guess. Anyway.
That's it.
We almost talked about sports there.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. But anyway, the Spanish Trail Country Club, this is the Las Vegas Regional. Currently, the top 5 teams advanced to the national championship in all of the 6 regionals, comprising that national championship of 30 Division I women's golf teams. Right now, early, not all the teams have teed off, again, because it is in Pacific time. So 2 hours behind us currently, but all the leaders are out on the course between holes 1 through 3, and Florida State currently as a team is -2. They're in 3rd place. Arkansas and Purdue are way ahead right now. Arkansas is -15. Purdue is -13. Florida State drops -2. Baylor's at even par, and UCLA is +1. So those are your top 5 right now. If it were to finish that way, those would be the top 5 advancing. The next after that cut, we're going to call it, is the University of Arizona at +5. They have not teed off yet. So we'll keep you updated throughout the show today. We'll update you one more time before we go off and see if those FSU women's Seminoles can move on to the national championship again, and may try to get Amy Bond on the line with us on Thursday or Friday, depending on how they do. But also on the players, the individual side of things, do you know who's leading the tournament going into today, Jay?
Who?
Yes.
What tournament are we talking about?
We talked about sports for the first time and you weren't even paying attention.
Yeah.
Remember yesterday? You got the answer right. I said, who is currently leading the NCAA regional in Las Vegas?
FSU. Yeah. Lottie.
Who? Yes.
Lottie.
Thank you.
Wode.
Lottie
yes.
Wode. There we go. We worked. You're like Gronk on the roast. You just got to sound it out. We got to get there together. That's all. But yeah, Lottie Wode, she shot 67 the first 2 days. She's about to tee off here in about 14 minutes. And she's got a 1-shot lead over Kajal Mystery from Arkansas. And Purdue has got 4 players under par right now. That's pretty impressive out there at Spanish Trail Country Club.
Spanish Trail.
Any other ones you're curious about?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about the Auburn Regional as we are a big Auburn affiliate here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Tough sledding up there at the University Club. Again, Ryan Dykes used to be the superintendent over there at Camp Creek Golf Club. He went back home to Auburn, and he is the director of agronomy up there for the University Club. Auburn currently leading that. They're about halfway through the final round today. Looking good, though, for Auburn to lock up a top 5 spot there as they are plus 11. A little bit tougher sledding up there at the Auburn University Club. And Oregon traveling all the way over. They're plus 13 in second place. They're minus 6 today. Auburn was actually 1 over par before the day started. They're 10 over par today, but still in that number 1 spot as they got themselves such a big buffer. Your Georgia Bulldogs, Jay, are currently in third, plus 19. They're minus 1 on their day today. Tulsa, what state's that from, Jay?
Oklahoma.
There you go. Plus 22, plus 2 today. And they're tied with North Carolina, UNC. Your Tar Heels there, they're at plus 22 as well, with South Carolina just outside of that cut, which is crazy because South Carolina is the number 2 team in the nation going into the NCAA regionals. And right now, if it were to end, they'd be sitting outside their chance to go to the national championship. So we'll keep you updated on that one as well. On the player leaderboard side, Anna Davis from Auburn University currently leading the tournament through 10 holes today. She is minus 2. She's only one of 2 players that are minus 2, or that are under par for the tournament today. But your Georgia Bulldogs, they're fighting there, Jay.
They are.
They're getting close. The East Lansing Regional, Southern California minus 8, Michigan State, Pepperdine are tied at minus 6. UF, for all you Gator fans, currently 4th at minus 2. Northwestern at minus 1 with a 1-shot lead over Denver currently for that 5th and final spot. That's going to be some close stuff coming down to the wire there. Up there at Bermuda Run, we talked about that yesterday, just outside the Winston-Salem area in North Carolina. Speaking of Winston-Salem, what university is in Winston-Salem, Jay Henley?
Winston-Salem.
Black and gold.
Don't go to sleep.
Black and gold. Man, I don't know.
Demon Deacons?
Oh, Wake Forest.
There you go.
Yeah.
And guess who is leading the Bermuda Run Regional?
Wake Forest.
Yes.
Yes.
You're getting the correlations.
I'm on it, baby.
We just say this, and then you just say what you should naturally say. They're currently 23 under par as they're about halfway through the final round today. Ole Miss at second, minus 18. Texas, minus 16, future SEC school. Mississippi State, minus 4. And then your favorite, Jay, the Oregon State Beavers in that 5th and final spot have 7 strokes to work with ahead of Tennessee right now to make it to the national championship. So you got a North Carolina, you got 2 teams from Mississippi State, a team from Texas, and then Jay's beloved Beavers out there in Oregon, and they're holding down that last spot. Then the Bryan Regional down there in Texas, you've currently got LSU minus 9, Clemson minus 5, SMU minus 4, then big drop there down to Vanderbilt at plus 3, with Ohio State has the 5th and final spot as of right now at plus 7, with Texas A&M only 3 strokes back. When you're playing 5, counting 4, you can make up a 5 or 6 stroke deficit in the blink of an eye with a couple birdies and the other team making a couple bogeys. So, there's always an opportunity there. And then the last regional, the Shea Alum Regional out there in California. Stanford currently leading that one at minus 18, followed by Duke at minus 6. Huge drop off from those 2 teams to the University of Virginia at plus 9. And then Arizona State is currently plus 15. Long Beach State and San Jose State are tied for that 5th and final spot to make it to the national championship at plus 19. Then Kansas is 3 strokes back right now. So we'll keep you updated on that, probably specifically on Florida State later on in the show to see how they're doing. But, it'll all be the national championship for the women's side will be set here by the end of the day, Jay Henley.
How about that, sports fans?
How about that, sports fans? Now, what are you researching over there? You got a good story for us? I'll start doing like teachers did back in school, like when you passed a note. Just read the note out loud.
I'm looking at a picture of the world's deepest fish, 27,000 feet, caught on camera for the first time by scientists. Man, the deeper you get down in that ocean, man, this thing looks like alien. I mean, it looks weird. It's got like, I can't describe it. It's like an eel, catfish.
Is it an angler fish?
It's, take a look at that.
This is what you're doing on the show?
Yeah.
Just cuz? How'd you go down this rabbit hole?
I don't know. It's just
27,000 feet, though. I mean, that's got to be somewhere close to that Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
Deepest part in the ocean.
But I guess they've never taken pictures that far beneath the ocean. But man, some crazy stuff down there.
Did you know if all the water went away in the ocean, the whole world would just collapse on itself?
No.
Yeah, because of gravity.
Would it really?
The pressure of the ocean is keeping everything up here. So you take all that away, everything's just going to start to crumble. Volcanoes are going to start to erupt at the bottom of the ocean floor. It's just pure chaos.
Wow.
Moral of the story, don't drain the ocean.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to us with the fish that you were looking at. I don't even know. It's hard for me to stay focused.
I know, I'm sorry.
With you. No, it's okay.
I feel like in 20 years, we're going to have protesters out there. Drain the ocean, drain the ocean.
Hey. You never know. That is for sure. No doubt about it. On the men's side, it hasn't started yet, but next week will be the NCAA regionals for the men's Division I golf championship. Same thing, 6 regionals, 5 teams from each regional go on to the national championship, which will be the week after the women out there in California at the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa. And as we've talked to both Trey Jones and Amy Bond, no one has played on that golf course before, as it has just been reopened or opened. I don't know if it's brand new or renovated, but anyway, it hasn't been open. No one's been able to play it. So be interesting to see if that comes into a factor with maybe a new national championship, Jay, for the first time. But 6 regional sites. You got the West Lafayette Regional. That's over there, hosted by Purdue up there in Indiana at the Boilermaker Golf Complex. That's got Vandy, Arizona, Florida, New Mexico, and Purdue. I'll leave the other teams out there. And then also you've got the Baton Rouge Regional. Where's that, Jay?
Louisiana.
What team is hosting, you think?
LSU.
Bingo. Man, you're on fire. That's at the University Club. Auburn, the number 1 seed in the country, number 1 ranked team in golf right now. They are the number 1 seed in that regional. All these, as we learned from Brad Law, all these regional sites were pre-selected. So regardless of where you finish the season, you get dropped into a spot. So you got Auburn, Virginia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Duke, Ohio State, LSU, Louisville, Houston, South Carolina, Lipscomb from the ASUN Conference, Yale, Loyola, Maryland, and Arkansas Pine Bluff. So that's going to be a fun one. We'll keep you updated as that gets going. The Austin Regional, hosted by Texas University. Jay, I wasn't going to quiz you on that one. That's at the Texas University Club. You got Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, Georgia. That's your team.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Wake Forest, Notre Dame, UNC Greensboro, Brigham Young, Utah, San Jose State, Grand Canyon, Arkansas State, and Kansas City from the Summit League. That's pretty cool there. Golf's a little different because you got some different reaches. It's kind of like basketball. Got a lot of teams that are in that Division I golf spectrum. The Stanford Regional, hosted by Stanford University at the Stanford Golf Club. Florida State is the top seed in that regional, so Florida State's happening to go all the way across the country on the men's side to go play out there. Ole Miss 2nd, Illinois 3rd, Texas A&M 4th, Stanford 5th, UCLA, SMU, Missouri, Fresno State, UNLV, Augusta University, Liberty from Conference USA, Sacramento State, and then Siena from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Then you got the Rancho Santa Fe Regional, hosted by San Diego at the Farms Golf Club. Great facility there. Arizona State is number 1 seed in that. Washington, Oklahoma, Cal, OK State, North Florida over there, the Ospreys from this same place Braden Masker goes to. He plays soccer there. But yeah, North Florida, Ospreys heading over to the regional about as far as you can go, going from just outside of Jacksonville to just outside of San Diego State. That's a long trip there. Expensive nonetheless. Chattanooga, South Florida, San Diego, West Virginia, Kansas, Wright State, Seton Hall, and Winthrop. Where's Winthrop located? We've talked about this before.
We have. I want to say Kentucky or Iowa.
No, not that far.
Tennessee, Virginia.
You're getting colder.
North Carolina.
Ooh,
South
Carolina. Right at the border of North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yes, yeah. When
Rock Hill. It's technically in South Carolina.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because we used to play them in the Big South, and I actually went and toured that school.
Is it a pretty campus?
Yeah, it's very nice. Hilly, pretty. When you went there for a campus tour, they put your name on a parking spot. Felt special.
Ooh, I bet.
Obviously didn't go there, but who won the national championship last year in men's golf? You got this. You got this before we go to break.
Oh, that's easy. Florida Gators.
There you go. Yeah, see, that was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah, that easy button ready.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was easy. No, you did a good job.
Thank you.
Florida won. Texas the year before, Pepperdine 2020. Obviously, COVID in 2021 was Pepperdine. COVID canceled. Stanford, Oklahoma State, Florida State still trying to get that to elusive national championship, both on the men's and women's side. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, we're going to dive into some NHL and NBA action. Your favorite, Jay.
Yes, sir.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, Ellis Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts in Delhi. Call 763-1627. Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820. Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. He has over 10 items in the express lane. He pays with checks and he doesn't return his shopping carts.
You have ruined groceries for me.
Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive. ESPN Northwest Florida. Not sorry.
Little chicken head there, Jay Henley. It's been a while. Your boy, Chicken Head, fixing ACs.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel.
That's right.
You never know what's going to go down. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. One more time, congratulations to Jay Germano for winning the 1-year anniversary giveaway, and a big shout out to all the local businesses that helped us out in that one. Real quick, Jay, before we dive into some NHL, I'm going to talk UEFA Champions League. We were talking about it yesterday, right? There's aggregate scoring, 2 legs. They're to the semifinals. We thought that PSG, they were a huge favorite, even though they were down 1 in the aggregate. I think they were minus 210, and Dortmund was plus 425. Of course, I bet Mbappe to score a goal. He was plus 100. That didn't happen. But, yeah, pretty surprising update there. PSG has never won a UEFA Champions League, and they're going to have to wait another season, that's for sure, as Dortmund got a goal on a header. Despite the onslaught again from PSG, they just weren't able to get one past. Mbappe hit one on the post late in that game off the crossbar on a little volley. But they're moving on to the final, which will be on June 1st. And then today, coming up at 2 p.m., you got Real Madrid. What country are they from?
Spain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because why? Madrid is the capital.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So good at this.
Running the Bulls.
There you go.
Yeah.
There, Pamplona.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to be playing Bayern Munich. Do you know where that is?
Germany.
Look at you.
Hey.
You're like a soccer knowledge guy. That's what we've been missing this whole time.
I know.
We haven't been talking about, soccer and football across the pond, as you say.
The aggregate scoring thing is just I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Okay, you take one game, you play it. Whatever the score is, that score carries over to the second game. So
kind of like golf, 4 rounds of golf, that's aggregate scoring?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Aggregate scoring to a T.
Gotcha.
So there you go. You figured it out.
All right.
So yeah, Dortmund was up 1-0 after the first leg, and then they won the second game 1-0. So the aggregate scoring was
1-0.
2-0.
2-0.
There
okay.
1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Last time I checked. Anyway. Yeah. But yes, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, they tied 2-2 in their first leg of the semifinals. They will be playing this afternoon at 2 p.m. So another big one coming up. And again, that final will be on June 1st. And it's exciting stuff because that's the champions. That is the champions of the champions playing the champions. What are you searching up now?
Aggregate.
You know what it is. You just described
it. I want to dive a little deeper into that.
I don't know how much further you can dive deeper into aggregate.
I don't even. How do you spell that?
It's 2 G's.
That's why it's not.
I think there's an I in there as well. I think it ends in an E.
Aggregate.
This is what I do at home when I'm helping with homework, David. It's like the same thing, except more difficult. This is simpler.
To collect or gather into a mass or whole, the census data were aggregated by gender too. Yeah.
We are live on the air right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just making sure you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pivot over to the NHL side of things. I'm not even going to ask you if you watched any because I already know that that's the case. Did you have practice last night?
Canceled.
You canceled it?
Yeah, they couldn't get the basketball cranks down to get the goals
I feel like
down.
they make a pill for that.
Yeah, and then
we advertise it all the time here on our radio show. I hear it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The blue pill.
So then I called a gym.
That's why you wear baby blue.
Yep.
All right, anyway,
that's it.
sorry. I keep
But then I called a gym and to try to reserve a spot in Lynn Haven. Lynn Haven has that sports complex over there, and they had pickleball set up. And so I tried to get some basketball practice down last night, but it just didn't happen.
Hey, sometimes. Hey, you made the effort, though.
I made the effort.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
That's all you can do. By the way, me and David are ready to kick your butt in pickleball. Whenever that is, you just got to find a partner, and it's on.
I'll take on the two of you.
No, you won't do that.
I mean, you could, but it would be quick.
Yeah, that would be tough for anyone.
We got arms and agility here. I may not have a lot of stamina, but I got arms, so I can stay and David's got all the agility. So.
Well, and that ball comes across pretty quick when you got two people on one side, and we don't even got to move at that point, and then you're running back and forth. By the time you hit it to one side,
one versus two in pickleball just doesn't regardless of how athletic and good you are.
Yeah.
You can only cover so much ground.
I nominate Max Delyden.
Yeah.
All right.
You and Max versus me and Ryan.
Do you know Max?
Yeah, I've met him.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Yeah.
He's filled in for you once or twice before, too.
Yeah, or filled in for you.
Yeah, he has. Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's been a while since I've had to have somebody fill in.
I was one of your first.
Well, in summertime, I'm sure you're, when you got your camps and all that jazz.
Yeah, I was going to get with you on that.
I already know. Typically, you get with me about 15 minutes before the show, but I'm going to go ahead and plan ahead for those weeks that you have camps and find some other people to help me out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That is for
they'll
sure.
be better, I promise you.
No. They may be more knowledgeable in sports, but I don't want that. That wouldn't be good for our show. And I'm not being sarcastic.
I got you. Yeah.
Baby blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you like NHL, you got some bonus hockey last night, and one was the start of the series, and the other was Game 2. All right, Hurricanes Rangers. Who do you think won?
The Rangers.
You're right,
yes.
But they were down, and they had to tie it up late in that game. They're the only goal scorer. They were down 3-2 in the third period, got one netted in, and it went to double overtime. Almost, I think they scored about 8 minutes into the second overtime period. So another 28 minutes of hockey. You don't realize how exhausting that is on your legs.
I mean,
a hockey game in general. I mean, I know they're only 45 to a minute long shifts, but it's like sprinting in equipment for 45 seconds,
right?
And then getting hit in the head, in the face, all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, it was a exciting game, and it was very intense. But the Rangers now made it 6 straight playoff games in a row. I took a picture of that on.
So they get a half a point for an overtime win.
There's no points anymore. This is the playoffs.
Playoffs. I got you.
It's a best out of 7.
Okay.
And there's no half points anyways. It's just 1 point.
Yeah. Now, you were thinking what you got confused with during the regular season, you get 1 point for an overtime loss. So if you make it to overtime, I'll give you that one. It went to overtime, so you remember we talked about when you go to overtime, you get a point, even if you lose. You get 2 points for a win, 0 points for a loss, and 1 point for an overtime in the regular season. The playoffs, they just keep. That's why it was a double overtime. They just keep playing until somebody wins.
Right.
I think there's a cutoff on time. I don't know. I that may not be true. I just remember watching a lot of playoff hockey growing up, and sometimes it would go to, especially in the Eastern time zone, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel like there may be a cutoff time at some point where they have to stop playing, but I don't know that. That may not be true. That may be a baseball thing, and I'm just getting confused. But anyway, Igor Shesterkin, we talked about Igor yesterday, made 54 saves in this game. That's a lot, Jay.
Sounds like.
And I know, they played in overtime and almost a half of another period. But in comparison, I don't have it up in front of me. I can probably do it quick while I talk. But Anderson, the goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes, he made 39 or 35 saves. So almost 19 more saves Igor made than the Carolina goalie, and they still lost. So what does that tell you?
I don't know.
That Shesterkin was huge for the Rangers in that game.
Okay.
There was breakaways. There was so many unbelievable saves by both goaltenders in that one. And then you also had something come out of that game, which you haven't. There's been a lot of memes that have been going around. I don't know if you didn't. I don't know why I keep saying if you saw or not. Jacob Trubia, he went to go hit one of the Carolina players, and he kind of ducked out of the way, and he was looking to clean his clock. He even had his elbow out. He flew over the guy right into the boards, kind of head first.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of memes going around about that. But, man, watch one NHL playoff game for me.
All right.
It doesn't have to be this week, just one.
Okay.
And I want you to
going to make that happen next year.
Yeah. And that'll be part of our 2-year anniversary show.
Yeah.
Just the intensity. I mean, these games are so intense. They're so much fun to watch, especially when you have no skin in the game. You can just enjoy the hockey instead of being nervous about who's going to win.
I'll FaceTime you whenever I'm.
You're going to put the effort into FaceTime me watching a hockey game?
Just so you know.
That you're showing me that you're watching.
Yeah.
And as soon as he hangs up.
There's no
back to the rom-com.
There's no validity there. Lifetime.
Yeah.
You watch more Lifetime than probably most people combined.
I love Lifetime.
I know you do. Mm-hmm. That's why Joanna loves you so much.
Yep.
But she wasn't emotionally available enough for you to make that relationship work.
Yep.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's all two sides of every relationship. Some people that like the rom-coms, and then some people that like the sci-fi thrillers.
That's right.
Joanna's more of the robot kind of stuff, and goes from there.
2 of us were in a relationship, and only 1 of us knew about it.
There you go. There you go.
That's what Jay said.
Yep. Ooh, that was a good one. And then the other game last night. So the Rangers are now up 2-0 in that series, and they have yet to lose a playoff game so far this playoffs. Closing in on the record, which we talked about yesterday, who owns the record in most playoff games won to start a playoffs.
Man.
It's really easy.
Yeah, because I said
you got their color on. You said Mario Lemieux, and that was incorrect.
You're right.
So it's not the Penguins, who aren't even in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The New York Rangers.
Oh, okay. But it was 9.
No, it's 7.
Or 7.
So right now the Rangers are now 1 game back of their their streak of 7 games. So if they win 1 more, they'll tie it. Do you know what happened when the Rangers won those 7 straight games and set that record in 94?
I got a feeling they ended up losing or something.
The polar opposite. They won the Stanley Cup.
They did. Okay. All right.
So history ring true if they win again tomorrow night and win 7 straight to open the playoffs. And will they go on to win the Stanley Cup? According to Vegas, they have the best odds to do it. On the other side, in the Western Conference, you had Game 1 of the Stars and the Avalanche series. More bonus hockey in that one. The Stars just pissed away a 3-0 lead in that game. They got out 3-0 in the first period. It looked like they were going to cruise in this one. Avalanche scored 2 in the second. They tie it up in the third. I believe it was McKinnon, if I'm not mistaken, on a rebound from just below the circle on the right side. They go into overtime, end up winning it. Miles Wood. There it is. Your Avs or your Stars lose.
Oof.
But they also lost the first 2 games against the Vegas Knights too, and came back and won that one in Game 7. So long way to go in that one. But some great.
Vegas and Colorado are kind of similar teams as well.
I would agree.
As high-powered scoring offenses. So we'll see if Dallas can settle it down here. I would like to see Dallas get her done, but it's tough when you get to these Stanley Cup playoffs. Like you said, the intensity is, Jay, when you do turn on one of these games, you're gonna end up getting locked in, at least for the moments that you're watching. And
I don't know, he might search up some deep ocean fish.
That's a great possibility.
But yeah, no, I mean, he's, as much as, we joke, but it's just NHL playoffs are awesome.
Yeah.
So much fun to watch.
I think the thing that gets people hooked on hockey is not watching it on TV, because if you're not familiar with the game of hockey, it's almost like, I was going to say curling. That's a terrible example, but you don't know what's going on, right? And it's moving so
that's a good example as far as knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go to a game, though, that's when everything changes. And it really doesn't have a ton to do with what's actually happening on the ice as much as the environment that you're being embedded in.
The atmosphere is second to none. Second to none. Especially, I mean, imagine being there last night, MSG, they tie it up in the third. How loud and intense it is in that moment. Then you give these fans, no one leaves. I'm sure there was a few people that had to leave, but no one's leaving in the overtime. They're intense that whole first overtime period. They get another break. They come back out. Rangers win that game. I couldn't imagine probably a louder place than MSG was last night.
Right.
And that happens too to win series, which is even more intense.
Yeah.
I just go back to when the Devils were good at hockey and they won two Stanley Cups on a overtime game-winning goal. One of them, Jason Arnott, against the Dallas Stars. From the right wing, buried it.
When that Zamboni gets that ice nice and smooth, is it like cutting on or putting on a nice bent green grass, I guess? Or no, not really?
I mean, it's kind of hard to make the correlation there for me, but it is important because the ice gets so chipped up and they're essentially just basically getting all the yuck off there and laying down a fresh coat of water and then freezing it to make it smooth.
Okay.
I would say it's like if you're playing at a cheap golf course and you played 2 times in 1 week, and the first time that you play, the fairways haven't been cut.
Good point.
And then the second time, it's like, hey, they just ran the mowers. You get a little bit better of a
cleaner hit,
cleaner lie. No, you're good. So you're right. Yeah, I would have taken off the greens like David did. Yeah, and the fairways for sure. Shaggy versus not, but happening in one game.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's important. The Zamboni out there.
I like just saying it. Zamboni.
Yeah. I'm sure there's an origin of why the Zamboni brothers, I think, or something that came up with it.
I feel like Jay would be a fun Zamboni driver.
Oh, he'd be all over the place. There's an art to that Zamboni.
I bet.
You're sliding through you got to know what the heck you're doing.
I was paying close attention to when I went to the Pensacola Ice Flyers, and he was doing a great job, and I was like, that's not as easy as what they make it look.
No, you got no traction.
Right.
It's kind of like, I guess, maybe a little bit like driving a boat. You got to think ahead of time before you get there. Because if you wait to turn until you're there, you're screwed.
Well,
and you can't just slam on the brakes with the Zamboni.
Well, I'm forklift certified as well.
Holy crap. You are forklift certified?
How long does that certification last there, brother?
Well, that's true. That's probably a few years expired.
You were.
But, that rear end will get the best of you because it's, that's where it turns. I'm sure the Zamboni's the same way.
Said. Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it is. You got a lot of weight in the back there.
That's right.
It's your counterbalance, your ballast, some may say.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. We did talk some sports in that segment.
Yep.
We all came to the same conclusions and grew as a group there. That was good. When we get back, we'll be joined by Keith Fleming. I know he wants to talk a little NBA action as well as getting us ready for the Wells Fargo Championship. Y'all are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating our 7-year anniversary on June 26th.
That'll be a curtain call right here.
You made us the #1 destination on the Panhandle for live and local sports talk, high school, college football, the NFL, and the Atlanta Braves.
Way on back it goes, that's torched.
And to thank you for helping us reach this milestone, we're giving away more tickets to the Atlanta Braves this season than ever before. Keep listening for details from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, some sun and a high of 82 with a moderate breeze out of the south at 14 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 77. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy and a high around 83. For Friday, some clouds and possible thunderstorms and a high of 79. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's MaxFit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. MaxFit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to MaxFit Sports Nutrition now. MaxFit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball!
Tonight, the Braves are back in town for a short 2-game set as they take on the Boston Red Sox live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. He gives out raw scallops and Time magazines for Halloween. Jay is part of the Inside Drive. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We're sitting inside these beautiful Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. You can find them where, Jay Henley?
The corner of 23rd and Frankfurt Avenue.
Right there, the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Streets, the mecca of boat and car dealerships. They're a Kramer Marine and Outdoor selling Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter. All those boats, new and used, can be found at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They got a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer, Yamaha Master Certified Mechanic on staff. If your boat is broken, you need it fixed because you got to get back out on the water. The fishing is hot right now. They'll come to your dock. They'll come to your house. And if they can't fix it there, they'll bring it back to the dealership and bring it back to you. That's Kramer Marine and Outdoor. And then, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we swung by Bill Kramer GM yesterday to pick up that full car dealer. And, man, those yellow, green, whatever color they are, Corvettes looked nice. That is for sure. Lots of new vehicles in stock, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 off manufacturer suggested retail price. You can also trade in your car. Those values are still high. Express service, regular service, tires at cost, all there, right there, as Jay said, the corner of Frankfurt Avenue and 23rd Street. It's time to bring him in. Last year was his first time on the show, his 1-year anniversary. He's been doing it with us ever since, putting up with you, putting up with me, and then as our good friend and daily fantasy sports, football, and golf expert, Keith Fleming. Keith, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Can I start with a mini rant right off the bat?
We would expect nothing less.
So, you know, I've been willing to admit the Braves lost me when they moved from Atlanta to Cobb. It was more about I just couldn't, having severe ADD and ADHD, put up with 4.5-hour games watching people scratch their junk and fix their gloves and everything else that was going on. Baseball has fixed that to where I've got to where I really enjoy watching baseball games again. However, thanks to Xfinity, I can't do that anymore. They don't have Bally Sports. There's a message up now when you pull up the Braves game that they couldn't reach a deal. The absurdity of this is if you go to Atlanta Braves Stadium and if you're behind home plate and you look out in the right field, you know a big sign and company has a building right there.
I'm going to let Jay guess this one. Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, really?
And I mean, and I've dealt with this. You know, I used to have DirecTV for a long time. Now I'm a YouTube TV streaming service guy. DirecTV just got too expensive. Also, when they moved NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV, they gave me no reason to stay with them. But they used to do. I remember when David, you remember the channel Versus back in the day? They used to. They covered all the hockey, and DirecTV had this thing where same thing. They couldn't come to a deal with whatever the parent company of Versus with. It may even have been Comcast at the time. And so all the hockey games were blacked out on that or not available on that channel. And eventually enough people kept complaining that they came to a deal and got it back on. So I'm hoping that's the case. But I think you can still, can you subscribe to MLB TV or something like that and still watch the games?
Oh, yeah. You can get MLB TV.
But you got to pay more for it versus what your normal cable subscription is.
I was going to say, it's not like the cable bill is cheap. And I just, again, the absurdity of the one channel that's not going to reach a deal that carries the Braves game having one of their biggest offices literally 500 feet from home plate at Braves Stadium. Come on, do better, Xfinity.
There you go.
Keith, do you have a Fire Stick?
I think my wife does, yes.
Go to ESPNPC.com and click on KHS TV and it'll change your life.
Really?
Yeah. Yes,
that's actually what I started doing is listening to the games just on my phone through the app, which is
this ain't listening.
Awesome.
No, it's watching.
That's what I'm saying. That sounds even better, and we will definitely be trying that out potentially tonight.
TBS.
Right? The good old days.
And then been a Braves game on
TBS and the Atlanta Braves. I miss the good days of early cable.
Yep.
I've got a little afternoon delight for you guys, too.
Ooh, I like
Ray
it.
Henley, you know this about my father. He is a beer drinker, has always been very loyal. He wants Budweiser, as he says, in the red bottle. Make sure people know none of that Bud Light crap. He wants a Budweiser, and he wants it in a bottle. And he has been ranting now for over a year about the conspiracy that is why you can't get a Budweiser in a bottle anywhere anymore, restaurants, etc. And last night it really came to a head. We went to this Italian place. We do a monthly dinner with me and my wife, my parents, my aunt and uncle, and it was my parents' selection. And I know for a fact that one of the prerequisites when my dad chooses said restaurant is he knows already beforehand they have Budweiser in the bottle. And this was actually an Italian place, literally called the Italian Place, that we had never been to this Italian place, but he had been to another location in Metro Atlanta. And so when they're taking the orders, he goes, Bud in a bottle. She says, sure, we have them. And when the waiter came around the corner with the Bud Light, I went, oh, boy, here we go.
Buckle up.
And
Chuck.
And I mean, Dad immediately goes, no. That I want Bud.
Let's go 93 octane. Yeah.
So as the waiter turns around, I happen to look at the menu, which she should have done in the first place, and I kind of gave my wife a little elbow, and I go, oh, this is going to be fun. They don't have Budweiser.
In general.
Sure enough, at all. Not draft, not anything.
Oh, boy.
So sure enough, they come back, tell him there's no Budweiser. The stain on his face comes over. He does his normal, is this not America? This is the king of beers. There's nothing more American than
ironically
Budweiser
owned by a
bottle.
Chinese company.
Right. Don't get him on another rant. And when he asked, what's the deal, the guy infuriated him even more by saying, look, we were doing our inventory a couple of weeks ago and actually found 2 Budweisers that had expired from when we, ordered them, and just nobody wants Budweiser anymore. And that set Dad off on another tangent of how that's not true, and if people, unlike him, would have checked the menu and saw Budweiser on there, they would order Budweiser in a bottle. And I'm not kidding you, he spent 10 minutes after we had finished our dinner talking/arguing with the manager of the benefits of having the cold Budweiser in a bottle. So I don't know if it's a conspiracy level, but I will admit it is becoming harder and harder as somebody who eats a lot of meals with them to find Budweiser in a bottle at restaurants, bars, and even ball games.
Keep fighting the fight, Chuck. Keep fighting the fight.
Hey, BYOB.
He's going to start a social media campaign, I think, which was my favorite thing. I forgot how he said it, but he was basically going along the lines that he wanted to get it trending. And, the manager said, well, I hope when, we open up tomorrow, there'll be 10 people outside ticketing because we don't have Budweiser in a bottle. And I don't think he realizes my dad was president of the state union. He can get 10, 15 people to picket just about anywhere at a moment's notice, so he needs to tread real carefully.
Hey,
you know?
he's like Ray Finkel. He's one hell of a model American.
Absolutely. So he was not happy, and as he, shrugged to my mother, he goes, "It just means I have to drink twice as much beer, and this is why all these guys at the golf course can drink so much. They're drinking water. That's not even beer." So Chuck's not happy with the Budweiser in a bottle situation in America right now.
Yeah.
Last year, according to VinePair.com, the 25 most loved beers in America. This was November of 2023 last year. So another 5 or 6 months has went by. Do you know what the most popular beer in America is, Jay? The number one selling beer is Modelo.
I'm going to say Budweiser.
No, not even close. The most popular is Guinness. Most popular.
Here in America?
The most popular, yes. Not most, the best selling.
Both of those answers of popular and most sold.
Oh, Modelo jumped when Bud Light had their whole big thing. Modelo jumped Bud Light, but it's made by the same company. So
but Guinness is a warm beer, right? That's warm.
If you let it sit out, yeah.
I think.
If you don't keep it refrigerated, Jay, it is pretty warm.
I'm going to stop you right there, Jay, before we go crazy.
Okay, all right.
Nobody drinks Guinness warm. We're just going to get past.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes, I am sure. There may be some, but if I had a sip of Guinness warm, it's not staying down. I can tell you that.
There's not a Facebook group anywhere with Guinness warm beer drinkers, Jay.
All right. I fold.
David's trying to find it.
Guinness is a stout. It will taste best a little below normal room temperature, but certainly not chilled as much as a lager. In Britain and Ireland, it is invariably served at cellar temperature. I've heard that before as well when I used to be a bar back. So
just don't say warm.
Temperature,
just don't say
air
warm.
Conditioned? Is that what we're talking about?
Like a little
room temperature.
Slightly cooler than room temperature. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, though, so that's why I had to Google, because normally if I got two people saying, no, absolutely not, Jay, you're wrong, then I'm on y'all's side.
Jay was closer than I thought.
Yeah, and stouts are, there's definitely certain ways to drink it, but nobody's drinking a warm Guinness.
Did you throw that in the microwave for us?
Yeah. Send that one back. It's too.
Can't give you the benefit of the doubt, Jay, on a day that you were not sure what the giveaway was after 7 days of discuss. Well, what are we giving away right here? And I love. So what's the total package and price? It's literally what Ryan just spent the last 3 minutes talking about.
It's right. During one of the other segments, I don't know if you heard, Keith, he was Googling some fish that lives at 27,000 feet in the bottom of the ocean. Squirrel.
What fish was it, Jay?
He couldn't even tell us.
Yeah, it was a weird looking one.
That's the research he did.
It was a weird looking fish. That's the name of it.
Hey, that's right.
Peyton, God bless you for being valedictorian.
Amazing content in itself. It's just, what is Jay Googling?
That's true. Oh, there's a good one. Most of the time, the computer's out, but there's nothing on the screen. It's just the Google homepage.
What's when I was in studio? It's like, what are you using this for? He's like,
goodness.
It makes me look important.
It does.
He writes stuff down on this little pad, too. And why don't you tell us what's on that pad? I don't want to take away from Keith's segment, but I'm just curious.
I want to know this, so go right ahead, Jay.
1 year anniversary. I had to write that down just to make sure that it'd come back, again.
We got 51 weeks to go.
Yep. And then we did a poll on, who's the best non-local sports radio show.
We are doing a poll.
Poll
here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah. And so I wrote down Cowherd and Greeny, and I didn't even get to Dan Patrick. That was my
that one you had locked.
Yeah, I had that one locked. Yeah.
So that's all it's on the pad.
Yeah, and then aggregate scoring.
And then I think, was that a signature there at the bottom?
That's just little.
You were one of those kids in elementary school that put your paper bag book cover on your thing and you drew the S's.
Yep.
With the 3 lines and the slashes, and that was you.
That was
your
me.
thing was just covered in it.
That's it.
And then your teacher would be like, "Jay, what's the answer?"
Man.
You'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, we need you
Ask
to listen.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, all right, Keith.
He's like, I'm from Griffin. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. The capital of the South.
This is not my area of expertise. I want to say that. You have, my buddy, Dr. A, on every week, who is a true NBA expert. I love the game of basketball, though. Love it. I always have. Basically since the Bulls in the 90s, that was kind of right in my elementary, middle school range. I love and watch a ton of basketball, and I just think it's at such an interesting place this year. And so much of that is obviously this T-Wolves Nuggets series. So let's start with the good, because I do want to always give credit to the team that is winning, and not just people tend to pile on the team losing, like, can't we give credit to the team that's actually beaten them? First of all, the T-Wolves, if you remember, when they made the Gobert trade, there is so many experts that just hammered them for it. And in hindsight, it was brilliant because your biggest obstacle and opponent right now in the NBA and in the Western Conference is the Joker, Jokic. And by adding Gobert, they now had 3 guys with Reed, Towns, and Gobert who they could throw on him, give him difficulty, so they deserve a ton of credit for that. But the biggest thing about that, and it's the biggest takeaway from these NBA playoffs, is Ant-Man has arrived. I watched him at UGA. I'm baffled, again, seeing how great he's been at the next level, that we couldn't even make the NCAA tournament with this guy. I think that says more about Georgia's basketball program than anything. But this is going to sound blasphemous, but he reminds me so much of Kobe and Jordan in the sense that he's just a force. Like, you can see in everything he does the competitiveness, the fire of just, I am the best guy on the floor, and I am going to prove it at every moment possible. And I just need people to remember, he is 22 years old, which he is in rarefied air to be this young and arguably, be the best player in the league right now. If you just watch the playoffs and you're, alien coming down, I think you would say Ant-Man is right now the best player in the league. And it's shutting down what was a short-lived, I thought, problem coming for the NBA of the international era, right? The best players in the game, Giannis, Luka, Jokic, all these guys not from America. And now you've got someone that's American pie, Jay, and Anthony Edwards, who is ascending. And, man, if he ends up winning the title this year at 22, we could be in for some really special stuff moving forward, and maybe that next true transcendent star. And that's no disrespect to LeBron, but I felt like LeBron just kind of got the NBA back on track, and I really feel like NBA is I think it's made for the modern era. If you see so many kids follow it just on social media.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And I think he's a great spokesperson and just, singular figure to be dominating the NBA.
Absolutely. Jay, where did he play college basketball?
College basketball, who?
That's what I thought. But Keith, no, we talked a little bit about this yesterday with Doc A and Anthony Edwards, man. And you said it. He Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they were different. They had killer instinct. Every time they stepped on the court, every practice, they were going to beat you and they were going to tell you about it the whole way. And you just really hadn't seen, I mean, there's been some awesome players. LeBron was, up there too, but like you said, kind of bounced around and is an unbelievable player. But he just has this killer instinct that he steps on the floor and he says, I'm going to beat you. I'm the best. You're going to have to stop me. And I don't know if I've paid attention to NBA more this, and probably because of the radio show, but more this year than I ever have because of guys like him and just what they're doing. And I think you're 100% right. If they go on to win this thing, I think the Celtics are going to be their biggest one in their way. He's just, it's refreshing to see. And it's cool to see somebody taking that, as Kobe dubbed it, the Mamba mentality, and just playing like, I'm better than you.
And the other scary thing about Ant is it's like if you took LeBron, his physical size and athletic ability, and then gave that to Jordan and Kobe's mindset, will, intensity, etc., because he is already one of the biggest, strongest guys in the league. If you've been watching these games, he has just been pushing people around, which I do want to talk a little bit about the Nuggets, and something I don't know if people are talking enough about. The NBA just made a rule change without officially making a rule change right after the All-Star break. I don't know if it was, the commissioner was embarrassed about the All-Star game, which he said, people were going to try, and obviously it was a joke, or if it was just the fact that people like Trae Young and James Harden, all they have to do is, basically stop, get any kind of contact, throw their body out, and they were going to be shooting free throws. But the way games have been officiated has changed immensely since February, which has benefited two of the teams that are really thriving in these NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks and Minnesota Timberwolves, who are built differently. And it's why I think, I know everybody wants to bury the Nuggets, and it's really sad that Jokic has had arguably as good of a 3-4 year run as anybody in the history of the game. Since 2021, just in the playoffs, he's averaging 30, 13, and 8. And there's going to be a lot of people saying if they lose this series, oh, he wasn't any good, I told you. And in fairness to the Nuggets, who were almost the model for what modern basketball had become, very offensive team, right? Like they controlled the game by scoring points, not really a defensive or physical team. They basically swapped the rules 3/4 during the season, and you see it so much in this mismatch that they have with Minnesota because of all their size and athletic ability, and that's got a lot to do with why Jamal Murray is throwing, having hissy fits on the sideline. And you kind of understand where they're coming from because there wasn't even an official statement put out that, hey, we're going to tell the refs to swallow the whistle. It's going to be
except in the end of that Pacers-Knicks game 2 nights ago.
Yes, like it's completely flipped through, and I'm okay with it because I think it had gotten too far the other way, right? Like they corrected after we had those playoffs where it was like games were 80-75, 78-73. They had gone too far. And I think rightfully they've realized they've gone too far in the other direction. I do question, though, how you can do this in the middle of the season, and it's kind of thrown this, championship on its head.
Well, and the T-Wolves are playing real team aggressive defense, and I think Denver wasn't ready for how difficult that was going to be for them. And, I don't know what the coaching staff is doing, but they really seem to haven't made any adjustments for it yet, and maybe it will in Game 3. I don't know, but we'll find out. Hey, Keith, we'll take a really quick break, and then we'll jump right back into it. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
There was such an incredible stretch of rom-coms. Where is the How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days of the world? Where's the She's All That? It feels like everything now is just a remake of something else, and it's done poorly.
Well, they did remake She's All That.
I know.
Addison Rae.
I didn't watch it. We didn't need that.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Woo! Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Some sun the rest of the day with a moderate breeze out of the south at 14 miles per hour and look for it to be 82. Tonight, there will be some clouds with the temperature reaching 77. Partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 83. Friday will have a high of 79 and a mixture of some clouds and possible thunderstorms. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We have Keith Fleming on the line. You can follow him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Keith Fleming with 2 M's in Fleming. Keith, let's jump right back into it.
Yeah, the only other thing with the NBA before we get into Wells Fargo is just the Nuggets are 15-1 to win the title right now at this moment. And, I mean, it does look like the T-Wolves have their number. Obviously, it's extremely difficult to win 4 or 5 games when 3 of those 5 games are going to be on your opponent's court. But I'm just saying, 15-1 for Denver, I was a little surprised the number was so high. I don't know if that says more about, like, what these betting sites think about the T-Wolves, or if it says more about just how hard it is to win a series when you're down 0-2 with both of your first 2 games at home.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, just I don't know how they're going to recover from it. But, hey, maybe they do. I just don't see them getting past. They're going to have to make some serious adjustments. I just think, the T-Wolves are on a mission this year. And like you said about Anthony Edwards in that last segment, he's a man on a mission. He's putting everybody on his back. And it wasn't even him the whole game last game. SGA and other people were getting in there as well. But yeah, it's I think the NBA playoffs are as fun to watch as I can remember.
And young is, like, to me, the favorite part. The Celtics, I know we're used to Tatum and Brown. Those guys are still really young. The Thunder are littered with young guys. The T-Wolves, Towns is still, I think, like 26. Edwards is 22. You've got, even, the Knicks are such a fun story. There's just, it feels like there's kind of a changing of the guard. And of the 8 teams remaining, only half of them have won a title in the 21st century, and 3 of them, the T-Wolves, Pacers, and Thunder, have never won a title. So there's a chance to, get to rarefied air for several franchises in the NBA.
Yeah, and wait till next year when Wemby's not on load management anymore and they get some draft picks around him. Look out for the Spurs. I think they're going to.
And we trade Trae Young to the Spurs. The match made. Now, if anybody can help Trae's defensive deficiencies, it would be that guy.
Absolutely.
So the golf moves on to the Wells Fargo. I put in my article, if you read it, you should check it out. It's on fantasysixpack.net, that the opening few paragraphs is just about, I'm worried about golf. I know I sound like a broken drum, but I'm as big of a golf mark as there is. I watched very little of the 2-man event, arguably even less of the Byron Nelson. I did obviously watch the back 9 Sunday. In fairness to the tour, right, we've talked about this. You got 2 signature events, 2 majors, and then those 2 events kind of sandwiched between them. So guys are going to take time off, but you just see the lack of star power because, again, there's just so many people missing. And I think the next 2 weeks are so big for the game of golf. They need to get momentum back. This is a huge field. Only Scottie Scheffler is the only PGA Tour player in the top 50. I believe it's 43 of the top 50 players in the official World Golf Rankings are here this week at a great venue, by the way, which we'll get into in just a second. And then next week we got a PGA Championship at Valhalla, which obviously the LIV guys will be there. But the bigger thing for me is if you look at the last 2 majors held at that venue, Tiger in 2000, the Bob May playoff, one of my favorite golf tournaments ever, like just iconic stuff.
Yep.
And then Rory in 2014 trying to beat darkness and literally hitting into the group in front of him on the 72nd hole to kind of get it in. And you can't argue that at that point in 2000 and that point in 2014, the 2 best players in the game at that time won those majors. That's really big for the Scheffler, right, going for his 2nd major, winning 5 of 6 events. For Brooks Koepka going for his 4th PGA, joining Tiger Woods, and then only trailing, I believe it's Walter Hagen and Jack Nicklaus for total PGA championships. I really do feel like next week we're going to have a star-studded leaderboard and one of the biggest names in the game win the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's one place to do it, it's Valhalla. Yeah, the fact that they in the last hole of a major championship, the group in front of the last group waved them up to finish, I still was just wild that happened. And
I would have never done it in a million years.
And
I'd have been like, nope.
Wasn't Phil in the group in front of Rory?
Yeah, I believe it was Phil and Fowler, right?
And I think Phil, after the fact, was not like thrilled with that decision or something along those lines. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But
seems like a very Fowler move, right? To me, like Fowler's the kind of guy.
Come on,
let him come on in. To where Phil's like, hey,
no, you're giving him an advantage.
Make him earn this.
Yeah.
Like, forget that.
Absolutely. But,
have either of you guys played Quahala?
I have not.
I've been there, but I've never played there. That was pre from going from bent grass to mini verde on the greens.
So this is absolutely on my bucket list of golf courses to play. Just a championship level layout. Part of why, ironically, they're playing the venue that's the host of next year's PGA Championship a week before the PGA Championship. This event has only been held, and that's the Wells Fargo, 4 times at Quail Hollow. There's one other PGA event that has been at Quail Hollow in basically the last 9 or 10 years. That was the 2017 PGA Championship, which, if you remember, that was Justin Thomas's first major. This is one of those courses where I'm just like, these guys are so ridiculously long. It's just mind-boggling. And, again, it's the technology and stuff. But 7,558 yards. It's a par 71, and it's not a wide-open par 71. It's tree-lined. It's both the 3rd longest and 5th toughest scoring course of the annual PGA Tour rotation. It also features the 6th longest combined par 4s and par 5s on tour. No surprise, the last 6 winners were all top 15 entering the week in driving distance. Not total driving, not driving accuracy, just you got to be able to move it to do well here. And what makes this course so difficult, there is literally 5 holes you better take advantage of. Obviously, there's the 3 par 5s, but then they have 2 almost semi-drivable par 4s. They're around like 350. All remaining 13 holes play over par for the field and have been that way the last 5 times an event has been held here. Again, a lot of tree-lined fairway, some really well-placed water hazards and traps. It has, I think it's like 52 bunkers. It's one of the lower numbers on tour. But where they're at, they punish players. Same deal with the water hazards. It's going to test players from tee to green. And this week, it was pretty simple when putting my stuff together. I'm targeting guys who are long off the tee, great ball strikers. They excel from 175 yards or further on approaches. And for me, they have a proven record at this venue, other Tom Fazio courses, or other difficult courses. And then I also did look at how well do they do on really firm and fast greens, because these greens are going to be running, I believe they said 12.5 to 13 this week.
That mini verde is crisp and hot. Let me ask you a quick question, Keith.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about this all year leading up to these tournaments and how difficult these venues should play. There seems to be a theme, and it's either not or is, and it could just be a coincidence, but there usually is no coincidence. We've talked about this many times, that golf courses have been playing easier than we've seen in prior years. And do you think that this is the time now? Quail Hollow is a very difficult golf course. Do you think we're going to see them struggle, or do you still think we're going to see great scoring?
So I think this is a great test study. Like, I really do, because if these guys go out and just, you know, you have, say, I don't know, 8 to 10 players at 10 under or better, because 4 of the last 5 winners at this venue didn't even reach 10 under, okay? So if that happens, now there is a lot of evidence. When you look at the Cognizant Classic, which used to be the Honda, you look at this event, Bay Hill played her, like the toughest venues, to your point, on tour, guys have been going deep. And I mean, it's not just a few. Like, that happens where 1 or 2
you get an
guys
outlier
have
here
great
and there,
yeah. But it's like, it's so many guys are going deep that I agree with you. I keep thinking back to baseball, right? And after the strike and after all the bad publicity and everything, what'd they do? They juiced the ball, right? They kind of stopped testing for steroids because chicks dig the long ball. And I think there's a little symmetry with what golf might be doing right now, where they're like, well, if we don't have the name power and star recognition, well, let's just turn these into Birdie Fest and show, you know, viewers, especially these new guys, how good they are.
See, and I think the opposite would be better for viewership, seeing them struggle, more relatable to the common golfer. I mean, that's why people love the U.S. Open so much, and we only get that once a year. So if that is their strategy, I personally think they're doing it wrong, and they should continue to make them as difficult as possible. People would rather see people struggle. If you want to go see great exciting things, go to a baseball game, go to a hockey, go to a football game if you want to see a lot of scoring. Golf, you got to get people to relate to these guys. And yeah, it's cool seeing somebody shoot 25 under par, but that's not relatable.
Yeah.
Maybe for Jay it is, but not us, that's for sure. But anyway.
And those new red Adidas sneakers, it's definitely relatable for Jay.
I know. Ever since you gave him those Jordans, his whole life has changed. He hasn't got away from the baby blue yet, but that's the calming and the peacefulness that Jay brings to the show.
Hey,
I love the red shoes, Jay.
How about the time I was playing at Jekyll Island, Georgia, about 20 years ago, and it's me and my dad and my brother, and so we're a threesome, and so this guy randomly comes up on one tee box, and he's a member at Quail Hollow Country Club, and I introduced myself. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jay," and he goes, "I'm Tiger Woods," and I started laughing. And so I thought he was just kidding around. Well, we get to one fairway, and this guy looks nothing like Tiger Woods. I mean, like zero. And so we get to the fairway, and he answers his phone, and he goes, "This is Tiger Woods." And I'm like, "Dude, your name is Tiger Woods." And he's like, "Yeah, my name is Tiger Woods." I'm like, "Let me see your driver's license." It was a North Carolina driver's license. The dude's name was Tiger Woods. So I have played with Tiger.
Was his first name Tiger, or was it something else?
No, it was Tiger Woods on his driver's license. I was like,
that is insane.
I know.
Got to imagine that he was born. Was he a younger guy?
At that time he was 30, and this was probably 2000.
Okay, so he was named Tiger Woods before Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was crazy.
That's insane.
But he was a member of Quail Hollow.
I would have asked him at Jekyll, Jay, like, are you lost? If you're a member of Quail Hollow, I figured you would be over at Sea Island.
No, yeah, no kidding, right? I like Jekyll. I think it's I love going over there.
I do too, but I'm saying if you're a member at Quail Hollow, like, I'm pretty
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how he ended up over there. I know it's bizarre. But yeah, man, what's the chances of playing with a guy named Tiger Woods?
Apparently
it's
pretty
not
good.
Tiger Woods. It's even more insane.
Yeah.
So the official DK lineup and bets this week, and again, really focused in on distance, iron play. I'm going with Wyndham Clark to anchor my lineup, 10,500. He's 14-1 to win. I love that. And plus 350 top five. He won this event last year, finished 43rd the year before. Quietly has 3 top 5 finishes in his last 5 starts on tour. Big thing, top 10 in scoring average on par 4s, playing 450 to 510. I think there's like 7 of them on this golf course. He's top 15 in strokes gained, tee to green, off the tee, putting, 6th in birdie average, and the big thing to me, top 5 in par 4 and par 5 scoring, and he is 3rd in driving distance on tour. Did you guys know that?
That's crazy to think that he would be the one of all people.
I knew he could move it, but I didn't know like that. Like, that is really impressive. He is, you see now why he was saying he was the best player in the world before he'd ever even won an event. I'm putting Cameron Young in my lineup. I know people are going to make fun of me because I just can't get off this train. He's 8,800, 35-1 to win, plus 550 to top 5. Only one start here. He made the cut. There's no cut this week, by the way. I meant to mention that. Didn't have a good finish, 59th, but top 10 in 2 of his last 3 PGA starts. This is what it's all about for me. He's 1st in proximity from 170 to 200 yards last 24 rounds. 10th in par 4 scoring. 8th in strokes gained total on Tom Fazio courses, which this is one of them. Top 10 in scoring average on those par 4s, playing 450 to 510. And I texted you guys this earlier. Superior ball strikers, Rory McIlroy, Anthony Kim, Wyndham Clark, and Ricky Fowler all won their first PGA Tour victory at this venue. So I think if any place is going to get Cameron Young into that winner's circle, this is as good as any. I'm also going with Justin Thomas this week. He's 8,500, 25-1 to win. I think he's 2nd in the field in course history. His last 4 starts here, 14th, 26th, 21st, 1st. Obviously, that was the PGA Championship 2017. Quietly, 5 top 12 finishes and 9 starts this year. He's gained strokes on approach, 7 of 9. Gained strokes putting 2 of his last 3. The big thing, 15 career wins, but none in the last 22 months. It's coming. JT is too big of a talent. He's still really good. 8 strokes gained tee to green, 7 strokes gained approach this season, 8th in birdie average. I like him a lot. Will Zalatoris is next, 7,900. He's 35-1 to win, plus 750 to top 5. Missed the cut in his only start here. You don't have to worry about that because there's no cut. Finished top 10 in 3 of his last 5 starts. 7th in strokes gained on total on driver-heavy courses, which he plays long courses you bomb drivers on. He's 5th in strokes gained on Tom Fazio courses. 8th in strokes gained approach this season, and has really been excelling recently in proximity from that 175 to 200 yards. Arguably my favorite play this week is Ashley Biate, 7,500, 40 to 1 to win, plus 700 top 5. You can get him 100 to 1, by the way, next week at Valhalla. Go ahead and make that bet. Why not with the way he's playing?
Shoot, yeah.
He finished 43rd here last year. He's finished top 18 or T18 or better in 4 of his last 5. This is a big thing. First in strokes gained approach his last 24 rounds. Second in proximity from 175 to 200 yards his last 24 rounds. Also, top 10 in scoring average on those par 4s, playing 450 to 510 yards. And he is top 50 in strokes gained total, strokes gained tee to green, strokes gained approach, and he's 8th this season in total proximity to the hole on approaches. And the surprising thing, he's 36 in strokes gained putting this season, 31st in scrambling. So he has really gotten better at his one big bugaboo, Jay Henley, which is his short game, and I like that for him moving forward. And then rounding out the lineup, Austin Eckert, 6,600. I got him at 6 to 1 to top 10. He's finished 45th or better in 6 of his last 7 starts. 4th in strokes gained total on Tom Fazio courses. 25th in strokes gained total, real ball striker. 16th strokes gained tee to green. He's 10th this season in proximity on approaches, 175 to 200 yards. He got that first win earlier this year. A lot of talent, and I just think he makes a good bit of birdies. And an event with no cut at 6,600, I think he's a real value. Do want to also mention Brandon Todd, Sea Island native. He is 6,500 on DK this week. You can get him 25 to 1 to top 5, 9 to 1 to top. 25 to 1 to top 5, 9 to 1 to top 10. Finished 8th and 18th, and his only 2 starts at this venue, so he likes it. Corey Connors is 7,800. I like him 50 to 1 to win, 4 to 1 to top 10. Another guy who finished top 10 here. He kills these long ball striking courses. And don't laugh at me. I like Rory this week, not to bet to win.
He plays well at this course.
He loves this course. 3 wins here. His last 4 starts, 47th, 1st, 8th, 16th here. He's 2nd in strokes gained total on driver-heavy courses, no duh. But I think he's going to be really low-owned in DK this week because he's almost 12K. He's the most expensive guy. And I think that's going to get a lot of people to fade away from him. And I like a lot of guys in that 7,500 or lower range. I like trying to build lineups where maybe I put Rory and Clark in there and try to go with cheaper guys because, again, no cut. So you can get really creative this week and not have to worry about, are all 6 of my golfers going to make the cut? So I would be more aggressive with your DK lineups this week. Really focus on guys that play these kind of courses well and obviously make a ton of birdies and eagles because that's the easiest way to score points on DK.
Absolutely. It should be a fun one. Hopefully it is exciting and we have some challenging conditions that make it a little tougher for these guys at Quail Hollow as we lead up to the PGA Championship next week at Valhalla. Major Championship week again already, Jay. Hopefully you're ready for that.
I am.
Keith, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you for the glorious Chuck story to get us going here on your segments, and we'll talk to you soon. And I know next Wednesday we'll dive all into the PGA Championship.
Hashtag make Budweiser great again.
There you go. The former king of beers. All right,
David, y'all. Jay, you guys have a great one, man.
You
Thanks.
too, Keith. We appreciate you. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive. Final segment of this Wednesday coming up next.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball!
Tonight, the Braves are back in town for a short 2-game set as they take on the Boston Red Sox live from Truist Park in Atlanta.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida. The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back for our final segment of this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, before we dive into a couple things, got to update. We had one of the local teams get their regional bid underway, and that was where you're
Bozeman.
Yeah, Bozeman. Right. Absolutely. They got the win last night over Chipley 3-0 in the regional semifinal. So they are moving on to the regional final, which will be on May 11th, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Saturday. They'll be hosting that game against Port St. Joe. First pitch at 7 p.m. Also in the 1A regional bracket, you had Central lose to Paxton 7-5. Jay beat Holmes County 12-3. They will play Paxton in the regional final, also on May 11th. Like I said, Port St. Joe beat Cottondale 7-4. They play Bozeman in the regional final. Lafayette beat Madison County in a 1-0 barn burner. They'll take on Union County, who beat Liberty County yesterday 3-2. Newberry beat Williston 5-0. They'll take on Trenton, who beat Chiefland 8-0. Got to be careful what's going on down there in Chiefland. You just never know. Make it a little cloudy, as they might say. All right, over there on the 3A softball side of things, the tournament gets underway. North Bay Haven will be playing Mariana tonight. First pitch at 7 p.m. That's a little larger tournament bracket as it is 3A, but good luck to the Bucks. And go out and support all these local teams. High school sports are kind of winding down. I know spring football's gotten underway, but it's really coming to an end here in about 2 weeks, Jay. So not a whole lot of high school sports to talk about until the fall. And then on the 4A regional state tournament, on the baseball side, you've got Arnold first pitch tonight against Santa Fe. Now, they are traveling to Santa Fe. Even though they're the number one seed in their region, they're traveling to Santa Fe because they did not win the district championship, as me and David looked up before the show, because we do research sometimes.
Yeah, good for y'all.
I know, good for us. That's kind of how the show works. And they're playing Santa Fe, which is about 4-ish hours away, close to the Gainesville area.
Okay.
So Arnold does have to travel all the way there. Hopefully they get the victory and can come back home and host the winner of Wakulla and Swanee. We'll report on that tomorrow. Also on the 4A side of the state championship, Arnold plays South Walton tonight. That will be at home, 6 p.m. first pitch there for the Arnold Marlins girls softball team. Good luck to all the boys and girls softball teams still in the bid to make a run at the state final there, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, indeed. Also, some announcements came out yesterday. The NFL schedule will be released on May 15th.
Ooh.
It's exciting because then I get to know when I get to try to, because the Niners are playing Tampa Bay and Miami. Looking at the Tampa Bay game, but we'll see when that schedule all works out. But then you got to wait, 3-ish plus months for the games to actually start.
Yeah,
that's
true.
one more thing you look forward to. It's kind of like when you turn 21 and then you turn 21 and then what do you look forward to after that?
Do you think there's going to be more like foreign games this year
there
or
is.
less?
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, they added a few more. They're still.
Is that the right word to use? Foreign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some might say worldly.
Worldly.
You could use worldly there.
I got you.
International, probably the most common word referred to outside the United States. But yeah, I know they're playing in Germany this year. They're playing in. Do they play in England or Great Britain?
London.
So yeah, Great Britain
and
or
Brazil.
In Brazil
started off at.
And Mexico. So they got, I think, 4 that I know of worldly/international games coming up this year.
Cool.
I know that Brazil game is early in the season, right?
I want to say it's one of the first ones.
Yeah, early in September.
Yeah.
And it's Philadelphia and the Packers.
Yep.
Yeah. So we know about that one already. You're gonna make the trip down. I think it's in. Is it in Sao Paulo or is it the capital?
Well, it's like the 49ers when they go across seas. Do you get? They
don't go across seas. They go south of the border.
Oh, I got
the Niners always play a lot of teams have like an international hub, so to speak.
Friday, September 6th.
Ooh,
and that is going to be. Ooh, I'll have to.
That's okay. It's in Brazil. It's in Brazil.
There we go.
Jay, he's not going to dial in on.
Let's send him on a boat over there.
Yeah.
Little kayak.
You can even drive. You don't even have to get on a boat
to get to Brazil.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Well, how about that?
You just go through
Panama
Mexico.
Canal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Drive through the Panama Canal.
Hey, they got the lock
system.
system.
On a ferry.
You ever really dived into how the Panama Canal works?
It seems like there's just enough space where a ship can go through.
Well, it's nuts because they drive in and then they put the water in, and then they move them up, and then they go into the next part of the lock.
That's right.
That water goes down, and the other one comes into the other thing, and then there's obviously long stretches, but that's how they got through the Panama Canal.
And we're on the same longitude or latitude as Panama Canal? And that's why it's called Panama City.
Well, it would definitely not be longitude, but
or latitude.
Well, I think it is called Panama City because there was some kind of trade, like shipping line. I mean, that caused that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're on the exact same latitude, but it's probably close. I don't think it has anything to do with the latitude, but I think it has something to do with shipping and trade or something like that from a long time ago. But
Brazil, I can drive to Brazil. I did not know that.
You can drive all the way to the bottom of South America. It'd take you a long time. And you would need a passport.
Yeah.
Which you have.
I do.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The name refers to the fact that the area was the U.S.'s closest mainland port to the Panama Canal.
So shipping port, all that good stuff. Still a very active port there.
Yes,
Port of Panama. Big ships, container ships come in all the time. Most of the stuff now is done with the Yucatan area there. The Port of Progreso, I think, if I recall correctly, is our biggest other port, or the biggest port that we work with here in Panama City. But that's neither here nor there. The NFL schedule coming out on May 15th. Jay, we got 3 games coming up on the docket in the playoffs tonight that I know you are not going to watch, so we'll tell you about them, and then we'll report tomorrow and let you know what happened. On the NBA side of things, just one game tonight, 7 p.m. in the Central Time Zone, TNT. That is the Pacers at the Knicks. We talked a lot yesterday about that very, very close game. Couple controversial calls there at the end of the game that even the refs admitted. But you know what? It's only 1-0, and the Pacers can come back tonight and try to make something happen. I think Tyrese Halliburton needs to get a lot more involved in this game. That first game, he just didn't really get a lot going. So tough place to play, though, MSG. And kudos to the crew there, whatever you call them, at the arena. I mean, they're going hockey game, NBA, hockey game, NBA, hockey game, NBA for a week straight.
Yikes.
That's a lot of work converting from one to the other. No doubt about that. But it'll be packed out tonight, and the subway goes right into MSG as well. Did you know that?
I did not know that either.
It goes below where they play. That's how I came in.
I like watching those 24-hour deals where they transfer them from a hockey
time lapse.
A time lapse. Yeah. That's the word. Yeah, that's the cool. I could sit there and watch that forever. That's so cool.
Hey,
that gets my attention.
Yeah, that's what we need to know. We just need to time lapse the show. Is that what we need to do?
There you go.
That's kind of the opposite of, it takes you an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes.
True.
It would take you 10 minutes to listen to 2 hours.
Yes, it would. Yeah.
So, hey, there you go.
Bullet points.
There you go. Bullet points. Cliff notes.
Yeah.
Cliff notes. Now the internet exists.
True.
Was helping Liam with a project. And it's like, gosh, you guys got it so easy this day and age. Like, and you still complain about having to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we had to go to the library and get an encyclopedia.
Right.
And then look up the information and then cite it.
I know.
Imagine what they're going to be doing with their kids. Like, hearing their kids complain about just having the answers already filled out for them. Like, you just got to show up.
Man.
But everything's plagiarism, it seems, this day and age. Like, I mean, how is it not plagiarism?
You just take something, copy and paste it, and then add a few. Just change a few words.
If you put one other thing in there or throw in a comma, it's not plagiarism.
Okay.
Do they even care about that, though, anymore?
I don't know. I just know.
So.
I would think so. I don't know.
I think it would depend on the school that you're at.
That's
the
true.
Teacher that is administering.
And probably the grade level, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're plagiarizing in kindergarten, you're going to have a very good career.
Yeah. As a legal typist. 2 NHL games coming up tonight, Jay. You got the Bruins at the Panthers. Panthers are trying to get game 2 at home after the Bruins dominated that one 5-1. And then the Oilers and the Canucks, your Canadian series, gets underway tonight. Game 1. Try to watch one of them. Or try to watch at least a little bit of it.
The Oilers and Canucks?
Either one.
All right.
But watch the start. Watch the anthems, and the Oilers Canucks will have both. They'll have the Canadian national anthem and the American. Now, I wonder if they'll play. They have to, I would think, because all the U.S.-born players on the team. Yeah. But it's 2 Canadian teams. What if maybe they don't? I don't know the answer to this question.
If they don't, then I'm going to be outraged, or at least pretend to be outraged. And so when 2 American teams are playing, you bet not play that Canadian national anthem then.
Which they don't.
Yeah, I feel like every time I've ever been to a Lightning game, they play the Canadian national anthem.
I thought they only played the Canadian national anthem in America when they were playing a Canadian team. Maybe ironically, you've just been to games with Canadian teams? Someone's commenting on our Facebook post right now.
I'm going to turn my AC down to 58 tonight and make me some poutine. Poutine? Poutine, whatever that Canadian thing is.
Yeah.
Is the show over? No, we still got 3 minutes. Crap. All right, so the Oilers and Canucks are getting underway tonight. Vancouver is the underdog, even though they are at home. Edmonton's -140. Vancouver is +120. Who do you like in that matchup, Jay?
Vancouver.
You like the Canucks? Mm-hmm. What about you, D. Hayes? The Edmonton Oilers or the Vancouver Canucks?
It's game 1?
Game 1 in Vancouver.
Give me Edmonton.
There you go. I'm going to take the Canucks. Why not? Right. They're going to defend home ice, unlike all these other people that, haven't been able to do it. And then Bruins-Panthers. Can the House Money Cats avenge that tough loss in Game 1 and get the series back tied 1-1?
Who is this again?
The Bruins and the Panthers. And you learned yesterday what a Bruin was.
I did. Let's go. I want to see Marty B get excited again. So let's keep with the Bruins.
You can keep with the Bruins. Yeah. Right now, the Boston's actually +140. Florida's -165. Tempted to take those Bruins again with that. That's decent. You throw them in there with the Canucks, and then maybe throw the Pacers in there, and you got a decent parlay. Probably going to be about +500-600, something like that. $10 wins you 50. All that good stuff. David Hayes, what do you think about the Bruins and the Panthers?
Oh, man. Do the House Money Cats bounce back? I don't think they even the series here.
Huh?
I think Boston is going to... I think Florida's going to get one in Boston, maybe game 4. But I think Boston wins pretty handedly tonight.
Hey, I like it. Take that +140 then, Jay Henley.
All right.
I mean, and then they go back to Boston with a 2-0 lead. And, remember what happened last year, as a matter of fact. Boston got up 3-1 against the Panthers and then ended up losing. Completely different scenario. Florida had a great regular season. They're actually the higher seed or the better seed than the Money Cats this year. So maybe they're not, than the Boston Bruins. So like we talked about yesterday, maybe they are not ready for that pressure. Maybe being the one to win.
We got to talk about this national anthem thing tomorrow because there's kind of like a little timeline of back and forth of you're playing both anthems before every game, no matter what.
Oh, so it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, a lot. Especially
There's some
with
history.
the Vietnam War and stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. That'll be a good topic to dive into tomorrow right here on the Inside Drive. We appreciate you tuning in, and congratulations to Jay Germano for winning our 1-year anniversary giveaway. Afternoon Underdogs coming up later on today at 4 p.m. We'll be back one more time or two more times this week, Thursday and Friday. We appreciate you tuning in. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday afternoon.
team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves.